we move to the game between Robin and Higaki. Actually, I made a mistake. The previous game was between Ben and Higaki, and not Robin and Higaki. This is the game between Robin and Higaki. So Robin takes black, Higaki takes white. Joseki, another Joseki. Actually, this Joseki choice looks nice for white, given that white has a strong group here, but well, maybe black can somehow use this wall connected with that thickness. But anyway, I like it. I like it for white, but well, black doesn't have much else to do. Maybe a better idea is to play here, because we don't really need to block the bottom side, and this is also a Joseki. White can play here, black can ignore it, or maybe attach. Anyway, black played this one, and now actually as white I would play Keima. Usually on the third line, when we push on the third line, we can finish pushing either by jump or by Keima. Very often jump leaves quite much weakness, sometimes a weakness which is completely making it impossible to jump, but sometimes some more moderate weakness. So a different situation is a Joseki like this. Here there is completely no weakness, so it's better to jump generally, most often. But in other situations, Keima is a completely decent move. And this move is a bit risky, because there is a weakness like this. Black attaches, and what does white do? If white plays here, then now white cannot fight. White loses this capturing race by 1 liberty. So yes. So white is forced to play like this, but then black takes away all white's corners. So this is a serious agi, and I don't like it. So if I were white, I would play here. White jumped, black plays elsewhere. Okay, white continues. This makes sense. That is also a big move, though playing here is quite important. It's like, you have this little wall, your opponent is on your back, and it's a common thing to do to play on the other side. But black for now ignores it, and ignores it again. All right, this is already a bit much, and I would be satisfied as white to play here. White plays even closer, yes, also good. Okay, kick. I don't like kicks, but maybe fine in this situation, because black's strength is not really useful on the other side, and I expected a jump. And also this weakness of the shape is also not so problematic, but still my intuition is always not a kick, but rather a move like this. And then can we cut? If we cannot, then maybe actually the kick is better. Okay, and then white plays so aggressively. Black tried to counter white's idea by cutting through. This makes sense. We don't really like to play this move, but maybe now it was a good moment to play here and ask a question. Or maybe not the perfect moment. Maybe we should play it now. Play here, here, here. Though, now really the cut on the other side becomes not very interesting, so not sure, maybe it's already too late. I wonder, does it mean that black should go immediately for this cross cut? Maybe yes, I don't think it's really a bad thing to do, to play like this. So anyway, white plays this very active move. Black goes through. But then black jumped here. This was not really needed because the group is not dying. I think it was more important to go out with this group, and if white goes here, we can always get out for sure. Black jumped, and then white enclosed black's group, and actually killed it. Or did not. But white could kill it. Okay. So locally, it's possible to kill black's group. white can play here and here, but globally it's not possible because white has a serious weakness here. So I can even play like this and that. So indeed it was not possible to kill, but even if it's very good for white to simply add a move there and force black to live, I don't know why black played this move. Black can descend, and it's so much better. It's like a huge difference because now this move is absolute center, so this means that this is actually super scary cut for white. I mean this move, yeah, it's absolute center for connection. Maybe even white needs to answer from the other side, but even if white answers from the other side, the problem is still there. Some problem. Well, black should start with the cut from this side. The problem is still there. So it's a big difference. When you are forced to live, don't just live in the most obvious way. Try to live in the most effective way. This move is a big mistake, very big mistake. Okay, then white attacks and cuts. This is a bit unexpected. I rather thought that white is going to attack this group as a whole. And this would be very pleasant for white because there is also a formation of black which has a weakness which can be went into if white now builds strength attacking black's group. But white plays in this impatient manner, and then, well, white takes a bit of territory, but I don't think it is any success for white because black connects the line. White's territory is not that big, and yeah, basically white solved a problem for black. This is a bit funny that it happens this way. Just play here. Maybe later you play that cut, but you will see that it is not really a focus of this game. It's not really big at all. And playing it right now is really way too early. So black connected this beautiful line. Yeah, white attacks, makes sense, yes. Though it's also a big move somewhere here. So I am not sure of this direction. Maybe it's more important to somehow put pressure on black. Difficult to say. Black builds Emoyo. How is the game right now? That's a good question. It started so good for white with this fight, but then that cut was a serious mistake. So let's calculate points. White has 23. Here white has points thanks to this move of black. So white has 35, 40 plus some potential here, 40 plus Komi. And then black might have, I don't know, 35 points if everything goes well. 40, 45. So it seems that the game is close. Who has more potential? Black has quite some potential here. Maybe white should go and reduce it. It's also possible for white to simply play like this and that. It's difficult to say who is better in the game. For me, it's difficult to say. I don't know if it's enough for white to play like this. But if not, then I would propose some reduction like that. White captured this stone. This is small. I don't understand it. This is really small. And now black can, for example, invade. But instead, black starts a fight, which is difficult to understand because white already claimed that this is mine, and black still says, it's not yours, it's not yours. I am able to hurt you there. And is black really able to hurt white there? Moderately, but yeah, black takes gote, and there is a cutting point in black's shape. I am not sure if it is worth it, and also maybe white had another way of answering, for example, play this attachment. It's surprising that both players focused on playing here. It's not said that these are mistakes, but it looks a bit questionable. Also, white has such a move, and maybe now white can already play elsewhere. And like this by itself is a quite bad exchange for black. So it's really questionable what black did, but the end result is maybe not bad for black. Also, white had a chance to capture once, and if black plays here, white can go through. This is actually quite good for white. Very good. Super good. So the only thing we can be scared of is that black plays this combat. Does black have big threats? This? Well, maybe this is big enough threat. Who knows? Psh, difficult to say. So it's a questionable variation anyway. Black ended up relatively satisfied, and then white cuts. And this is crazy. Like, why do you do this? Just play calm. This crosscut, you're like in the middle of super enormous strength of your opponent, and you start with a crosscut, and then white's group is super heavy and probably is going to die. This was a crazy decision by white, really. So in the end, the group actually dies, and now the game is certainly good for black. Well, this is a normal way of playing. Then black continues this way, as I said in the review of Cezary Maxim game. White plays this another move, but now black takes the chance to take points. That's very reasonable. Then big point, and black should be ahead. Not sure if it's necessary to answer. I know that of course it's like 5 points in white center if white plays Hane, but this is probably not big enough for now. And what we can be scared of is a clamp, but this, does it work? Actually it works. Okay, sorry. So I missed this. So then yes, it makes sense that black answered. Then white attaches. So this you should not do. This is just bad. This just worsened the position for white very significantly. You shouldn't play like this. Just because you don't know what to play, you shouldn't go for a crazy attachment. Play this move. This is a normal move, an honest move. Just play honest moves and not crazy attachment. So white is trying to tell black that white is building here a moyo, but it's so difficult, so easy to destroy all this potential white is building, white builds. So no, like it doesn't make sense. There is much more points to be taken, many more points to be taken on the sides, and this move in the center is kind of a dame. In the game, it somehow works. I don't know why black didn't start with this move. Don't understand it. So white tries to encircle that area, but then it becomes a bit risky for white. And here, it's so strange what happened. So black has the possibility of connecting. And then if white plays here, black might think of that move. However, it doesn't really work for black because of such a counter. So unfortunately, it doesn't work. And then black simply connects on this side. But then the Atari is such a terrible exchange for black. It's much better to play here. Then after white's Hane, black can easily Atari, and later this move will be sent and that move will be sent. But if black started with that exchange, then after black's Atari, white can play this move, which makes white almost connected on the top side. It's a very big difference. This exchange is super bad for black. So anyway, black's plan didn't work. Maybe it could have worked if black simply connects, or no? Probably not. Probably black would have counted all that. Yeah, sorry, this is not satisfactory for black. Most probably it's some ko, but black already loses the outside stones, so no, this doesn't make sense. Did black have no better way? No, black didn't have any better way. This is good enough. We get stones against this center of white, but the Atari was unnecessary. So now black gets into white's area. But this move is so slow. It's not needed. Why not go into white's area? White anyway cannot cut. This doesn't work for white. So I don't understand these moves. Why connecting here? All that doesn't make much sense. So anyway, white finished in center, and now white needed to add a move. I am not sure. What if white plays here? If black goes there, then white makes life. So I don't know why they didn't play. Okay, now we see how this move is powerful, but yeah, it seems that this must be a bigger move. Anyway, white is satisfied, and then another thing starts. So a normal thing to do would be to answer, but then black gets into white's area. Black should be winning if our judgment is correct. So black has like 30, 40, 50, 7, 65 points for sure, maybe a bit more, and white has 11, 20, 30, 40, 5, 55, 65, something like this. Actually it's a close game. Black really did bad on the top side, so so maybe white can still count on winning if white plays normally, but white didn't. White thought that he's behind apparently and counterattacked, and then the whole group of white is getting into trouble. It becomes a ko, but then black does not continue this ko and lets white consolidate the center. Very interesting. And then the ko starts, and in the end white does not take the center. And now a very unfortunate thing happened, because if white played here, then white has a real chance of winning this game. It's quite a close game. But then this ko starts, and this finish of the ko is already better for black, because black went into white's area with a stronger shape. Now this exchange is a quite bad exchange for white, and white lives there no bigger than normally white would, because this is black's privilege. And white didn't want to give black that privilege, so white keeps capturing. But actually this is smaller than the center. So white engages more and more in that ko, in the top left, but then it's not possible to win it because black can use normal moves in the center as threats. And in the end, black did it, I believe. Yeah, black plays a simple move in the center, white captures, and then the ko finishes, but black already gained in the center more than white gained in the top left. At least this is my visual impression. And then a few more moves were played, black found a tesuji, and white resigned. Yeah, so unfortunate finish of that game for white, but in general a very interesting game. All right, so this is it about this game, and I think this is it for today. Maybe tomorrow I will review the games from Group B. Thank you for listening, and bye-bye.